Here's one.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
So, Amazon released the Lord of the Rings Season 2 trailer today.
So the theme here is to compare the House of the Dragon trailer with the Rings of Power trailer. Apparently Rings of Power got ratioed to High Heavens. And I thought the trailer was fine. Now, you're free to disagree with me, but I generally thought the trailer was, I thought it was decent. It definitely was better. It definitely, was made in a sense that it reads like it'd be better than Season 1. Season 1 was just boring. It was just, nothing happened. It was paced all over the place. It was all what I'm trying to say is the pacing was all over the place, and none of it made any sense. None of it was chronological. It just didn't really work. But it looks like a lot more is going to happen in Season 2. So from my perspective, it looked interesting from that point of view. It doesn't really rectify anything that happened in Season 1, but I'd say it's more putting lipstick on a pig. They're going to have to do a lot of retconning, but I don't know how they'll be able to pull it off. We'll find out. Let's continue.
And then HBO decided to release the House of the Dragon trailer.
See, they're repeating the same mistake they made 2 years ago. So the mistake they made 2 years ago was they decided to air both shows at the same time. And of course, people are going to compare House of the Dragon to Rings of Power. And so, I'm not surprised that House of the Dragon performed better in reception than Rings of Power did, because House of the Dragon is objectively a better show.
An hour after that.
That's funny.
And one of these trailers is getting downvoted to oblivion, and the other one's doing fantastic.
Gosh, I wonder which one.
Oh my God. Let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so this isn't going very well.
Yeah, show these guys some love. Seriously, show these guys some absolute love. Algorithmic love. Just, leave a like or something. Or even subscribe. Is this doing this to me again? Yeah, I think that's fine.
Guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here.
I feel like if I keep my Twitch open... Okay, so that's probably what it is. Alright, so I think we can, make it better. I can still see the chat, though, so it's not a total loss.
Lots of money burnt. Lots of different hot Sauron. I don't know.
Okay, so they definitely recasted Sauron. You know what I mean? They definitely, recasted him in... Or maybe he does have that look, but then changes it.
Got hot Sauron again. This is a different hot Sauron. I don't know. People were like, hey, obviously they're making this up. Let's hit a refresh here and see if we're at. Oh, now we're at 100. Wow. In 15 minutes. 100.
Whoa. By the way, YouTube removed their dislike feature. I don't know how that really happened. I don't know. It's a little interesting to me. The fact that YouTube removed their dislikes.
1,000 downvotes to 38,000 upvotes. Yeah, people aren't having it. It just looks like more of the same. Lots of money burnt. Lots of money burnt. House of the Dragon, on the other hand, an hour after Amazon's, 55,000 upvotes to 650 downvotes.
Wow. And it's been out a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And it has 636,000 views. What's the other one have?
Okay, so that's good. The like to dislike ratio.
Almost 637.
800,000.
Wow.
Whoa. Are people just disliking it because they dislike season 1, and so they automatically assume season 2 is going to be bad? Well, okay, so I'm not downplaying the fact that it might be bad. Okay, it actually might be bad. I'll eat my words if my initial reaction, because I think it actually might be good, but I don't know. I might be a bit biased, because I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. I thought Peter Jackson did a fantastic job in the original trilogy, for the original trilogy. So and also grew up with Lord of the Rings, so I don't know. I like J.R.R. Tolkien's work in general. Read the first 2 books. For some odd reason, I didn't really finish the third one, but yeah.
Yeah. So one of these shows,
not 650,000, 650 downvotes.
650 downvotes. Yes, people are excited about House of the Dragon. They said it's redeemed the Game of Thrones last season.
It really has. I mean, I said this in my previous video. Like, it really has redeemed it rejuvenated the interest in Game of Thrones.
And people really loved the last season of House of the Dragon, but we're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna talk about the Lord of the Rings trailer dropping. But yeah, I think this is funny. This comes from Bro Bible. The ongoing battle between House of the Dragon and Prime Video's The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power, which began when the 2 series both premiered within weeks of each other in summer of 2022, rages on as the 2 shows release their official trailers within hours of each other.
Here's the thing, there is no battle.
So not only are they releasing their shows in the same year, actually Rings of Power releases so I guess it's not quite the same thing, because Rings of Power releases their show months later. I mean, I guess that's fair, but come on, the trailers, of course you're gonna get ratioed.
There's clearly you're apples and
again.
oranging it here, because there's no comparison.
Oh, there's no comparison. Yeah. On Monday, May 13th, Prime Video announced that the first trailer for Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power Season 2 would be released on Tuesday the 14th, which it did. Just an hour later, HBO quietly came out of nowhere to release the first trailer for House of the Dragon Season 2.
Well, yeah, so they're...
Oh, so they just stealthily released a video? A lot of people are saying they trolled Rings of Power. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because it wasn't. In order for it to be a troll, the release has to be intentional. Maybe it was a troll, because maybe it was because a few people had it in their minds that, yeah, we're gonna do so well because they might have realized in the past, well, people were obviously comparing the shows back and forth, so
a couple hours or an hour or so apart, and then one has more, the Lord of the Rings one has a couple 100,000 more views, but you would expect it to have a lot more views than that, because they made this big fanfare announcement about it, and Max didn't say anything; they just dropped it.
Yeah, and that's how you do it, right? This is a mic drop moment for them. They were probably waiting. They're like, yeah, we got this. Now, here's the thing: Amazon spent the money they spent on Lord of the Rings, trying to compete with House of the Dragon, trying to compete with Game of Thrones. And they said as much. They wanted a game of...
The way they did it was not clever. I mean, they already had a fantasy show. They had the Wheel of Time, but apparently that didn't do so well. They have a successful show, Fallout. I mean, if you guys seen the Fallout TV show, it did pretty well. But how much of that credit goes to Amazon, though? How much, is that actually Amazon's, or did Amazon just allow it to air?
Game of Thrones type series for their platform. The same reason that Netflix spent the money they spent on The Witcher, and then they dropped the ball. Oh, I saw.
Okay. I do want to do a reaction to the downfall of The Witcher. I was going to do that in my previous video, but apparently I wasn't aware of the fact that keeping Twitch open while watching YouTube can lead to bandwidth issues. Which is weird because I wasn't doing that when I was reacting to House of the Dragon or Rings of Power.
A video the other day, somebody was breaking it down. I haven't watched beyond like half of season 2 of The Witcher, but they said that they butchered it so badly that there's no way they can actually.
Okay, that's an understatement. It wasn't just a butcher. They just completely made up their own story. It was worse than a butcher.
Complete the story that was outlined in the books. There's
Well,
absolutely no
shocker
way.
when you have a bunch of writers who don't even like the books and clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that's one. That was one of the reasons. Okay, I'm still like annoyed about that. Imagine hiring a writer to a show, and the writer hates the source material. Of course, the show's gonna flop.
Make it that way.
Well, they were supposed to. I guess they were going to do seven seasons originally.
Yeah, like, and then Henry Cavill was annoyed with them, and it got to a point where he just didn't. It became completely unrecognizable, and then he was like, "Well, I'm out." Now, of course, there's a lot of like speculation that it was because of Superman, but we all know the truth.
Originally of The Witcher, and now they're doing seasons 4 and 5 back to back, and then they're calling it a day. It's over. I mean, they dropped
During seasons, yeah, like okay, so seasons. Well, why call it seasons 4 to 5? Just make it season 4, and then so it's not. It's just one season. By the way, they canceled all the spin-offs, so Sirens of the Deep, which is the anime show, it's still airing.
the ball on this. And I look, I don't know if Amazon is going to continue with more Lord of the Rings, but if this second season doesn't go well, you're not hearing anything about them filming a third yet, are you?
No.
So I think that's where we're at. Yeah, they said House of Dragon is one of many Game of Thrones spinoffs that will be on HBO in the coming years, as the network is also developing A Knight of Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight.
Okay. I know I constantly go on other game developers' streams, and I I don't remember who. I mean, if you're watching this, it might be you. Like, you probably remember the conversations we had. I remember having a conversation with one of the fellow game developers, and one of the things I pitched was doing a direct adaptation for Knight of the Seven Kingdoms into a video game format, because we do need a game that is set in Westeros. And I didn't want to create an original story because I don't know how to create. I'm not George R. R. Martin. I don't know how to do that. But he already has a ton of books that is set in his world and aren't even being adapted. So why make up my own story? I mean, we know how that turned out. David and Dan tried to do it, but they failed because they weren't George R. R. Martin, my personal opinion. So, my idea was, okay, well, instead of making that a TV show, why not make it a game? And the game would play similarly to The Witcher 3. A lot of people say they want it to be like Skyrim. I disagree. No. Skyrim is like definitely not Bethesda. I mean, look at how Starfield turned out. Actually, I don't know. Maybe Bethesda might succeed here because, Fallout wasn't their original IP.
A prequel series, some animated series, more. So they're going to turn this into a full-blown franchise. Mm-hmm. And they're teaming up with Disney now. So that might not go so well. But I think this is...
Teaming up with Disney? House of the Dragon is just one of many Game of Thrones spin-offs that will be on HBO in the coming years, as the network is also developing Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that. I don't like what Disney did with Star Wars, and the fact that they're teaming up with Disney makes me a bit nervous. Because you might have, like, bizarre... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that necessarily.
Freaking hilarious. But yeah, this is hot Sauron. Let's go out
that's a matter of opinion.
Again, let's go out and see what Twitter is saying about it. All right, so here's the
Twitter.
Here's the trailer on Discussing, as some people call it, Disgusting Film, but Discussing Film from Prime Video. Sorry, it looks terrible. Absolutely.
Okay, I have to wonder, are any of those creatures that we saw in the early part of the trailer present in Tolkien's works, or are they just made for the show? I mean, you can totally make up stuff for the show. Like, there's certain creatures in the Middle Earth series, Caragors and Graugs, that don't exist in the books. So, yeah, I mean, making up stuff for Lord of the Rings isn't anything new. But...
cinema. Haters gonna hate. Can't wait for season 2. Smart not.
Haters gonna hate. These are all blue check marks. It's a better show. What world are you living in, dude? That is not even remotely close to true.
Not to drop at the same time as
See, this is how you know, like, some people are living in a bubble.
House of the Dragon this time. Prime has been killing it. Season 1 was not.
I mean, if you name specifics, like, okay, well, House of the Dragon is more adult themed and Rings of Power is more family friendly. Okay, that's a legit argument. I mean, I kind of think it's a moot point because you would watch House of the Dragon because going in, you would actually expect it to be a more, dark and adult humor. Rings of Power, on the other hand, is more family friendly. So even that doesn't really hold any water.
Great. Will this be better? No, I don't think so. Oh my god, it's Sauron.
Just rewatch the Hobbit series. Yeah, okay, that's true. That's definitely true.
What the hell?
Galadriel was transformed into Eowyn. Credit. Like, it completely messed up her character, so I agree with this.
Just rewatch the Hobbit series. Now the original trilogy is blasphemy what they did to Galadriel in this show. So are we gonna get a trailer for the Gollum movie? Looks.
Oh yeah, I heard about they're making a Gollum movie apparently.
As rubbish as the first one.
Oh god.
Okay, so now the comments are tearing it apart.
I can't watch that.
This will be
Please
fun to
start it.
This will be fun to dissect.
Oh god.
It's gonna be
Oh yeah, rest in peace, dude. It's a great actor.
mid. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do well, guys. The video we did yesterday.
Some people are saying it does look improved over last time. Maybe they learned some lessons. I don't think so.
It does look. I mean, if it doesn't look as cheap as last season, but I'm kind of like, I think they're going all in this time because they have to salvage it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish them luck. Maybe they might pull it off,
But then the irony would be if this season is better, they did it without the help of the showrunners.
I always look at things from a glass half full point of view.
Because they weren't allowed to help.
Not because I
remember
like
there were some they were not allowed to help.
That's right. They're wrapping it up, because strike, but they weren't allowed to be on set. Yeah.
They weren't allowed to be on set. I don't know. Season 1 was utter garbage.
Yeah, everybody's like, some people. It's a very mixed bag in the comments.
I think people will check it out. I think a lot of people are going to hate watch it. They're going to check it out. I just think it's absolutely hilarious that HBO did what they did. They trolled them.
So for all we know, though, because I guess I said they did it last time to HBO or whatever. But for all we know, they found out Max was going to drop it today, and they hurried up and rushed theirs out. We don't know.
That could have been. That could have been. I don't know.
More black trans lesbians.
Yeah, I still love the reactions to it yesterday. It's time to drop your next $1 billion turd.
Yeah, I mean, the whole discourse around movies and films, injecting identity politics into it is just cringe. Like, you can criticize something without getting into that Like, I feel like, I mean, are there instances of that happening? Sure, yeah, but that's not really the case with Rings of Power. Like, they don't really make quote unquote woke themes. So I don't know. It's like I feel like people just lean way too much into that.
I don't think it's going to do that well. I think a lot of people checked out last season and they promoted the hell out of it. And most people forgot this show existed already because that seems to be the way that streaming shows work. They're hot for like a
It's time to drop your next billion-dollar turd. Cancel culture won't let the Rings of Power die, while anti-woke fans unleash hounds.
week or two.
Yeah, so a lot of it. Okay, so this sort of explains why. Um, it really wasn't woke though. Like that's not the impression I got. The impression I got was just the bad pacing and um lack of they just didn't really care about the source material. They just to me it was just a really bad fan fiction, which is not the same thing as woke. Like what even is woke anyway? I'm not going to get into that.
Everybody talks about it, either to love it or to hate it, and then it disappears, and then oh wait.
But yeah, I mean this so-called anti-woke crowd definitely it was a targeted campaign, but you know that's why the reviews are low. So it wasn't because of their disdain for it. It was just to. Now I'm not defending Rings of Power. I think it's like I said it so many times already. It's terrible. But at least the amount of disdain that it got prematurely, there is a force behind it, and I'm just explaining what that force is.
There's another season. Damn, I forgot that existed. I don't think it's going to do that well, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm going to watch House of the Dragon. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
I'm not going to watch either one because neither one are my thing.
House of the Dragon's pretty good from what I've seen of it. So we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
I watched it like I want to say 6 times, but I'm going to say 7. It's like a 10-hour movie.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Yeah, show these guys some love. Alright, I'm exhausted. Okay, now I'm kind of tired. You know what? I'm gonna end it here. Yeah, so if you're watching this on Twitch, the comment isn't there. I'm sorry, the link is in the comments chat. But yeah, all you gotta do is just search the title, and yeah, this is just a random video I found that we're reacting to. Alright, so I'm just gonna end the stream here. Yeah, definitely let me know what you think, and if you like this, great. If you don't, then I don't know. You should definitely like this. Alright, catch you all later.